It's a hell of a time to be a Los Angeles sports fan. First, you have the Lakers winning it just a few weeks ago, and now the Los Angeles Dodgers, after 32 long years, are now finally World Series champions. I want to congratulate the Los Angeles Dodgers. They have been one of the best organizations in baseball, not just the last few years, but for a while, and finally they have come through in the postseason. Before I sing all the praises about the Dodgers and everything like that, I do want to get into the game tonight, though. It was another gem from the Dodgers tonight after Randy Arozarena hit another home run in the World Series to put the Rays up 1-0. The Dodgers bullpen was able to shut the Rays out for most of the entire game. But we all know what we're going to be talking about tonight is going to be the fact that the Rays took Blake Snell out in the 6th inning after he had 9 strikeouts and only given up 2 hits the entire game. And then what happens when Anderson comes in? The Dodgers are able to make it 2-1. And at the end of the day, I know that the Rays are an analytically sound organization. I'm someone, for the most part, who believes in the analytics and following that. Not letting your best pitcher on your team face those Dodgers hitters for a third time, even if the numbers say that's not a good idea. You have to ride your best pitcher in that situation. You have to trust that he's going to get these outs. It's not like the Rays can save him for another game after this. They needed Blake Snell to give everything he got. And Kevin Cash, I know he was going by the numbers, but you can't take him out of that ball game. And especially put a pitcher in who has given up a run the last 6 times he has been in the game. We all know the Rays bullpen was a strength of theirs their entire season, but we can see at this point in the postseason, they were absolutely gassed. Yes, they got a day off the day before, but this is a bullpen that definitely needed a break, and you need to ride your best pitcher in this situation. I know Kevin Cash is going to get killed by a lot of people a lot harder than I will, but at the end of the day, you have to keep Blake Snell in that situation. If he gives up those runs, I think you live by it, but the way he was pitching, the way he was dominating, you needed to keep him in the game. And we saw that with the Dodgers with Julio Urias at the end of the game, who got the last 8 outs. They could have put another reliever in because, he's not a guy who usually pitches 2 or 3 innings, but they rode the hot hand, and that's exactly what the Rays should have done. There's a lot of reasons why they lost this game tonight, including their offense, really, especially this whole series, not being good enough, but not keeping Blake Snell in the game was a mistake. But at the end of the day, like I said, the Dodgers were able to capitalize, and keeping Julio Urias in for the last 8 outs was the absolute right decision for them. He was the hot hand, and he ended up dominating, especially in the 9th inning when he had one of the Rays batters looking to end the game and to win the World Series. And finally, the Dodgers, who have been on the brink of winning the World Series the last couple of years, in 2017, losing in Game 7 to the Astros, who a lot of people believe cheated in that series. And in 2018, pretty much getting wiped out of the series by the Red Sox in 5. And then last year, being up 2-1 to the Nationals in the NLDS. And being up in Game 5, only for Clayton Kershaw to come in out of the bullpen, blow another lead, and then for Howie Kendrick to rip their souls out with a grand slam. Side note, that still was like one of the happiest sports moments of my life. So Howie Kendrick forever. Don't forget that, Dodgers fans. But at the end of the day, this is what a lot of people have been waiting for with the Dodgers. They have been one of the best organizations in all of baseball. Not only do they have the ability to have a big payroll, but they've also done a lot of the little things right. Bringing in Andrew Freeman, who used to be the general manager of the Rays, in the last 5 or 6 years has been one of the best decisions the franchise has ever made. So they have that payroll flexibility, along with one of the smartest GMs and the smartest organizations in all of baseball. And you're able not only to get players in free agency, but they've been able to develop a lot of players, to resurrect people's career like Justin Turner, develop guys like Cody Bellinger, and this is where they are now. And it feels right that they were able to capture this title by going on an all-in move of trading for Mookie Betts, and then also extending him to a 12-year, $360 million contract. And this was a team that needed another guy to get over the hump, and a lot of people will criticize them because, Mookie Betts, he's not going to be good in that 11th or 12th year, but who cares? Mookie Betts is the best player in baseball right now, if not one of the best players in the game right now. And he was one of the big reasons as he came up big tonight, hitting a home run, giving them a 3-1 lead. And so people always worry about in trades that they're worried about giving up too much prospects or draft capital and whatever the sport is. But if you can get superstars, you have to go get it. The Lakers were able to go get Anthony Davis and help them win a title. The Dodgers bring in Mookie Betts, who is arguably the best player in all of baseball. That was something that helped them get over the hump. And I appreciate their aggressiveness paying off in the end. And I also just want to give appreciation to the Rays as well. They are one of the best organizations in all of baseball, one of the most advanced organizations in all of baseball. And their innovation with their bullpen, with how they use all of their guys, has been fantastic. It's one of the reasons that a small market team like Tampa Bay is able to be here today. Now, the one thing I do want to say about the fact that people compare the Dodgers payroll to the Rays payroll, and people are like, oh, they only made it with a $50 million payroll or whatever. And it's a nice story. It means they're taking advantage of everything they can do. But when people bring up the Rays payroll, I think what they forget to mention is maybe if they spent 10 or 20 million more dollars, maybe we wouldn't be sitting here tonight talking about how they lost in Game 6. Maybe they would take it to a Game 7 or win the whole World Series. I think sometimes we give these small market clubs a break by oh, they can only spend this much. But if they were even to spend just a little bit more, maybe they would have had someone who could help them offensively in this series. But again, credit to the Rays. They're one of the best organizations in all of baseball. And you have to feel a little bit bad for them right now. But at the end of the day, they will continue to be one of the best organizations. And hopefully they will be back in this position. At the end of the day, the Los Angeles Dodgers deserved this championship. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for their organization. I'm happy for their players. And there was a big thing about the Dodgers that they were chokers and that they couldn't get this done because of what had happened in the past. And we always hear that with teams and players that lose in big moments. But if you keep knocking on destiny's door, it'll eventually pay off. And these guys always had the right mindset. It just didn't work out that way. And we saw the same thing with Anthony Davis. So he doesn't have the right mindset. He's not a killer. He doesn't have the Mamba mentality. We saw that with the Dodgers. Can we stop that, please? These athletes are a lot stronger and mentally prepared more than we think. And the Dodgers have proved that sometimes you just have to wait your turn, and it was their turn to finally win a championship. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, Seatman Sports. Give this video a thumbs up and tell me in the comments section who you think is going to win the 2021 World Series. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. This is Seatman Sports.